There are thousands of miles between us, but the internet brings us closer. A single click, and by your side are the people whose name imply professional decency, honesty and dignity to journalists and editors worldwide. The International Communications Forum was conceived as the movement of the like-minded people who strive to change the world for the better and decided to start with themselves. It is history now. In 1993, Nizhny Novgorod welcomed our international guests. The journalists, publishers, writers and artists were exploring Russia for themselves, and us, the participants on the Russian part, were exploring new aspects of our profession during discussions and round-table meetings. The conference that brought together hundreds of professionals declared the principles of the forum.
Международный коммуникационный форум случился у нас в Нижнем Новгороде в самом начале 90-х.
The International Communications Forum took place in Nizhny Novgorod in the early 90s. And what we heard at the forum was in a way crucial to us, both in life and profession. The ethical problems of our trade had not been discussed so much among us journalists. We were only starting to think of the responsibility the freedom of speech entails. The next year, a group of journalists and publishers from Nizhny Novgorod was invited to Switzerland for another ICF conference. The topic of the forum is different every year, but the idea remains the same. With the media, by the media, for the people. September, the year 2000. Hundreds of journalists gathered at the forum in the Bosnian city of Sarajevo, destroyed but not defeated. We expressed our hope that the mistakes of the 20th century would never be made again in the 21st.
I myself was motivated to come to the region because I didn't trust the coverage that was presented in the Polish media. And I tried to understand why this war broke out by myself. This city was a very special city. It was a city of the Serbs, Croats, Muslims, Turks living together in peace. So all these labels didn't work in here. And it was really difficult for the public and for the journalists to understand why these Serbs on the hills are the bad Serbs and these Serbs who lived in here in Sarajevo, they are the good Serbs. I was interested in the people's life, how they were able to survive under these circumstances, how they were able to keep their dignity.
There were 5 participants from Nizhny Novgorod: Vyacheslav Bogachev, Grigory Gundarin, Galina Shagiyeva, Alexander Sinitsyn, Natalia Skvartsova. The latter was to make a report about the situation in the Russian mass media. The Sarajevo Agreement was signed on ICF's initiative. The words of the agreement could not leave anyone indifferent. Year by year, the enthusiasts of the International Communications Forum promote the ethics standards of their profession, and thousands of the like-minded make the way from disbelief to realizing their personal responsibility. They start with themselves. They discuss it with others and share the ideas of humanism and justice with everyone.
As a journalist, it's also your responsibility to push the boundaries.
In 2008, ICF invited us to Great Britain, a home to a new ICF project. involving meetings and open discussions about the present and future of journalism. These were attended by our renowned colleagues, as well as would-be journalists, who are now students of Lincoln University. These young people will soon come to press editorial offices, radio and TV companies to say what they have to say to their city and the whole world. And in the meantime, they are just listening to their senior colleagues attentively. A small office in a London street, a launch pad for new ICF's ideas to be translated into new accomplishments.
For many years, I worked as the editor at our TV companies. And then I was a director of Vedomosti newspaper. This is a common project of Financial Times and Wall Street Journal in Russia. And never, it's true, never somebody from governmental offices call me and ask about something. Never. It's true.
You have the ethnic problems within Angola, with different tribal groups and so on.
The ethnic problem exists when politicians cannot agree and cannot put forward a proposal that rallies people behind. So that's when they start picking on issues of difference to stir up trouble and then end up with either a power sharing agreement or just complete.
Opening one of the early forums in Nizhny Novgorod, the founder of the movement, Bill Porter, said, "It is very important to set a personal example of those moral qualities which we often demand from others. This remains a priority task for the Russian journalism."
Well, we in the ICF believe that we are not only in a business. Of course, the media are a business, but they are much more than that. We are addressing the mind and the souls of many people. So that is a special responsibility. And we believe that if we don't give the citizen everything he needs to understand what he is or she needs to understand what is happening around him, to have all the possibility, to see what are the sources and what every part of society wants to do with the problem, then he cannot fully be a citizen in his country. And if the media are not playing this role, then there is no democracy possible. And the other, aspect of what we want the media, we hope the media will do to recover their dignity at the service of the public, is also to be a go-between. We are here to report about the other, to make people able to understand the other, and so to respect each other and maybe to love each other. So we believe that if the media are fulfilling their commitment and their mission, there will be more democracy and more respect among the people in this world.
I was just thinking that really that it's a wonderful profession to be able to inform the world of what is going on, of the events, of all the interesting things which are happening, and also sad things as well. But I think our great role is to give the world the news that will lift them up, which will make people want to go out and make a better contribution to life and to their families and their nations. And I think that we can do that through the media. We can be a great positive force in the life of the world.
I had the pleasure, of course, of coming twice to Nizhny Novgorod to prepare and then to take part in one of the first conferences of International Communications Forum, and I enjoyed very much that meeting and meeting the people and the journalists of Nizhny Novgorod. And I think one thing which I learned really from the ICF is that journalists can begin to criticize themselves because they are very ready to criticize everybody else, but they don't take trouble to look at themselves and what they should do, what they can what they can change in their behavior and in their professional life. And I think this is something which can greatly help the world and the countries in future.
What can I say? I'm not a media person directly, but as a private citizen, I see both the good and the bad of the media in my daily life. But as the executive director of the ICF, I've been really privileged to meet many media people of great integrity and great courage and a great contribution to the ethics that we're trying to promote. I'm particularly grateful to have met Natalia for the first time. I'm tremendously grateful to her contribution to the workshop we ran at Lincoln. Great team, and it was great to have her with us. And so I've added her to the very able and wonderful people that I've met through my work for the ICF.
It's always a difficult thing. It takes courage to be honest in any situation. And I think that the International Communications Forum is encouraging media people in whatever branch they're in to do the thing that they really believe in, to contribute to society.
The International Communications Forum is a movement which unites over 2,000 professionals from different countries. It is so wonderful that the Internet brings us closer together. Today, the initiative groups of the organization are operating in the US, France, UK and Poland. And our volunteers are taking the movement further in 116 countries.
Сейчас, когда прошло уже больше 10 лет со времени форума, в котором мы принимали участие.
10 years have passed since the forum took place in Nizhny Novgorod. And now I'm working on the Russian Internet concept in the Information Policy Committee of the State Duma. And very often do I recall what we talked about 10 years back, moral responsibility and things implied by the freedom of speech. Every word may entail unexpected consequences, and everyone, when using this means of communication, should be aware of their responsibility for a word in a print and broadcast media. A dedication to the memory of the first ICF president, Bill Porter. Extending our gratitude to the founders of the forum for their help and support of Russian journalists. We are together.